My name is Benny West, and I've been running track and cross country for 6 years. My family has been a really big influence in running, particularly my parents. It's definitely become a big part of our identity as a family. As a freshman in high school, I was running varsity. I accomplished some big things. I really thought I was capable of doing more, and I had a devastating race region that made it so that I couldn't go to state. So I worked really hard and I was ready for track, and I did pretty well, fairly well. My season was cut short because of an injury, which was devastating, but it wasn't the worst thing that could have happened because I was still able to run. I was still able to lay out some fast times on the track. So overall, my freshman year was a huge success. So sophomore year came around, I was super stoked for the season. I was putting in tons of miles, really working on my strength. I had a lot of goals. One of those goals was race so that I might achieve a spot to go to NXN. And NXN is a huge race in Oregon, sponsored by Nike, and it's where the best of the best go. And I really thought that if I worked hard enough, I could get there. One day we were coming back on a trail run. My foot slipped. All I remember is hearing just this crunch and just this thought in the back of my mind that's just, oh no, like there goes my season. I spent a lot of time feeling bad for myself and knowing that I'd worked so hard and I had these goals that would never come to life. I learned that I had a choice in making my dreams come true. So I worked really hard and I spent a lot of time on stationary bikes, spent a lot of time in the weight room. I was there before people got to school, and I was there after practice when people were going home. So I was going into track with a lot of motivation, and obviously with the pandemic, it shut everything down and I wasn't able to race. And instead of, going back on those thoughts that I'd had previously about my season being over and all that sadness, I decided to just beeline for the success that I wanted in my junior cross country season. So that summer I put in more miles than I ever had, more strength, harder workouts, better nutrition. I worked my butt off. I was ready to take my team to state. 2 days before the region championship, I was driving to school. I don't remember what happened. I woke up in the hospital hours later, surrounded by doctors and nurses and my mom. I was driving to school. I started veering off into the opposite lane and I totally went unconscious. My sister, who was in the passenger seat, had no idea what was going on. But she knew that something was wrong. She couldn't get me to respond, and that's when I started convulsing. My eyes rolled back into my head, and I started foaming at the mouth. But she saved our lives that day by reaching over and pushing down on the brake as hard as she could, which helped the car come to a stop that saved our lives. I was able to be rushed to the hospital. I did have to sit out that region meet. I did have to watch my team compete and watch the region trophy slip from our hands, which was very devastating. After tons of tests and after tons of doctors' procedures, they were able to find out that I do have epilepsy disorder. I could no longer live the life that I had previously lived. I would not be able to run anymore. I was completely broken. There's no other way to put it. I had a lot of pretty violent and scary seizures that occurred from the first one I had while I was driving to the last and most recent one I had that I actually had while I was running on the treadmill, but it totally screwed up my leg. Made it so that I couldn't run for a while. To me, this was extremely demoralizing. So I had some time, 2 weeks before the state championship, to think about what was going on and deal with these reoccurring seizures, my coach approached me and he said, "You don't have to race at state. In fact, we all understand if you can't." And I really wanted to say, I can't do this. But there was a little part of me that said, this is something I have to do. I have to prove to myself that I can still put up a fight. It was a once in a lifetime feeling stepping onto that starting line, knowing that I had made this very extreme choice to be there, and that I might as well just give it everything I have. Crossing that finish line and being able to celebrate this little victory with my team and my parents and my friends and my little sister was a life-changing experience, something that I'll never be able to get back. So I was finally able to meet with a specialist that really improved the condition of my current status in life. I was able to find a medicine dosage that worked for me fairly well, and I was able to kind of move back into what I considered normal life. I was finally able to start running again. I'm happy to say today that I've been able to continue to work hard. I learned a lesson through all of this, and that was that we basically only have like one shot, and we've got nothing to lose. It could have all been over for me the day of my first seizure. It could have all ended that day. It's definitely made me think about the decisions that I make on a daily basis. So why wouldn't I try to run again? Why wouldn't I try to do the things I love again?